Hello, good morning. Welcome to a Thursday episode of the TMI show. I have the wrong date there. It's November 6th, actually. Thursday, November 6th. I am Manila Chan. Ted Rall will be joining us in just a second. If you are joining us from Deprogram, you know he just got off that show there. He's probably taking a potty break. So we'll allow him that. Of course, this is the TMI show. We do this live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. So please be sure to hit the like, the follow, the subscribe, and the share button to help our little show continue to grow. There's breaking news, sort of, and it broke, I think, while Ted and John were on the air, that Nancy Pelosi is retiring. So we were not planning on discussing that. So I'm just going to throw that out there in case you missed the news, that after about 40 years in the House, 40 years in Congress, she has announced that she's finally retiring. A lot of things I can say about her, given that I'm a native Californian. A lot of harsh criticisms, but at the same time, props to her being the first female Speaker of the House, and so far only female Speaker of the House, but a lot more harsh criticisms about Nancy Pelosi than praise for her, other than, her being a woman. And there's Ted. Ted, I was just breaking the news about Nancy Pelosi retiring after 40 years. That we'll save that for another day, but I'm sure her daughter, what's her daughter's name? Alexandra Pelosi or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's right. Alexandra, maybe?
Alexandra. I think she's some sort of like filmmaker, right?
She's a documentarian.
Right. I'm sure her daughter produced that 6-minute video that she put out to announce her retirement, and it's all patriotic and rah, 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 I love San Francisco. But, long storied career for many reasons, but we'll save that for another day. But yeah, that was the breaking news in the past hours after helping found the country, the United States of America, and like knitting the flag with Betsy Ross, right? I mean, that's how long she's been around. No, I thought
it has been a time. It has been a day or two.
But look, she's doing the thing that the other California lady didn't do, Dianne Feinstein, which was cling to power literally until the day she died. So I guess that's good if you're trying to make room for the younger generation, I suppose. You didn't die in office.
Sure. I mean, it's a little bit late to say that she's stepping aside before she gets old. But look, she's not senile. I mean, she's very fit mentally and physically, as far as we know. And so
she looks great for 85. I mean,
she's had some work done, of course, obviously.
Yes. She looks great for 85. I would love to have seen what she looked like when she was like 22, but I don't think photography was out yet back then. I don't think they had cameras.
No.
I think they had portraits drawn of her when she was 22.
Etchings, petroglyphs.
187 years old, Nancy Pelosi. No, but you're right. She's been there a long time, and I'm curious to see who she, if anybody, if she has groomed to take her place, because I don't see it, but we'll see next year. So she's waiting till her term expires, if she doesn't expire first by next election.
Now you're making me do the awe.
Well, I mean, it's true. Dianne Feinstein literally clung on. She's like, I'm going to stick around till the next election, and then she didn't make it. So
that's I can't argue with that, because that's true. That is what happened.
So there you go. But to be fair, Dianne Feinstein was, for the last 2 years of her life, was literally being carted around in a wheelchair.
It was really, she was like Captain Pike in that episode in Star Trek.
She was.
It was a fucking embarrassment.
She was Weekend at Bernieing the whole thing. Like, she
Insane.
wasn't even pulling the levers to vote. Like, she She was frail. Nancy Pelosi is not like that. Just so we underscore this, she is sharp as a tack. Her teeth, are in tight. They've got the extra bond in there. But yeah, so we'll see. Next year. I don't know what's going to happen to California and the party. Gavin Newsom is also, obviously, his term ends next year. So there's going to be a lot of stuff happening in my home state. I'm curious to see what happens. And Adam Schiff taking on the senior role, I suppose, because, he went from congressman to senator. Gross. A gross person. Anyway, so let's get to all the stories. Ted's got a heart out. We gotta go. Let's Jaws it, Ted.
Let's do it. Airlines here in the U.S. are scrambling to make plans after the Federal Aviation Administration announced that it will throttle air travel by 10% in the 40 biggest airports due to the shutdown. The capacity cuts begin tomorrow, according to two sources familiar with the call between the major airlines, the FAA, and the Department of Transportation. There's I think the official order actually has now come down, but they are operating under the understanding that they will need to reduce their schedules by at least 4% by tomorrow, at least 5% on Saturday, and hit the 10% mark by Monday. Those plans could change, however, when the final order is issued. Sean Duffy is the Secretary of Transportation, calls these cuts necessary to reduce stress on air traffic controllers who've worked without pay since the shutdown began last month. Airports have faced off and on delays for weeks as some air traffic controllers call out sick. Several airline sources describe confusion about how the policy will be applied and whether or not it'll be tied to actual air traffic controller staffing levels. The FAA has not released a list of the 40 cities that will be hit, but they're going to include, among others, New York John F. Kennedy Airport, Newark, New Jersey International Airport, Washington Dulles and Washington National, and LAX. Airlines were expecting increased travel volumes this weekend anyway, due to the 3-day Veterans Day weekend. There's also the potential for some bad weather in the upper Midwest. The DOT is not responding to requests for comment.
Well...
Yeah, here we go. Nice country we've got.
It's totally first world. I mean,
we're kicking. We're doing great.
We're doing great. Bridges aren't collapsing or anything. Sean Duffy, our illustrious leader of DOT, alumni of The Real World on MTV. What could go wrong, Ted? I mean. He can't be any worse than Mayor Pete, right? I mean, Mayor Pete was like an absentee DOT guy. Sean Duffy's at least there when the cameras are there, So, but there was no government shutdown, at least not to this extent, ever, and certainly not during the Biden administration. So this is going to be a really shitty Thanksgiving, I project, given that Trump has now flip-flopped again on funding SNAP. So states are really just taking a shot in the dark if they're able to fund their local program, right, in their home state. Trump is like, I'm not going to replenish the program until you guys reopen. I don't know anymore who to point the finger at, and it doesn't even matter. The point is, both sides are stupid. And nobody gives a shit about regular working people, including these federal workers who are considered essential workers. That became a thing that we learned during COVID, right? Like some of these air traffic controllers, they are considered essential workers. So by law, they are mandated to show up to work without collecting a paycheck. And that pay period has come and gone. And they've missed their first paychecks for this cycle. And that's hard for a lot of people. A lot of people are calling in sick, not because they're being dicks, Ted.
No.
People forget that other people, even old ass adults like me, sometimes we start late and have children late, and our kids need daycare or school, and when you can't afford to pay the daycare, guess what? They don't take your kid.
That's true.
So, a lot of these people are parents, and there's nobody to stay with their kids. They're not school aged quite yet. So a lot of these people have to call out sick, or maybe they have ill family members that they need to care for. And if you can't pay for the home aid service, guess what? Your Filipino home care nurse, she ain't coming. She's sweet, but Priscilla ain't coming. That's not it doesn't work that way. I mean, like, I know we had that with my grandma. So, I mean, if the federal funding doesn't come through, you're going to have to scrimp and scrape out of your own pocket to get. We really did have a Filipino home nurse, and her name was Priscilla. So it's out of your pocket. So all of these things have a ripple effect. So I know people are going to be pissy and angry at the airports because you mentioned Reagan National, which is down the road from me. And during the holidays, it's already a madhouse, and people are shitty.
And that's kind of a small airport, considering that it's in the nation, right in the nation's capital, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's very small considering how many flights come and go from there, and how busy it is. And if you don't have the federal workers to run the airport, I can only imagine, like, not that I was planning on traveling this month, but it's going to be horrible. And because of where it's situated, Ted, the off ramp from the GW Parkway goes directly into the airport, right? So if the on and off ramps get fucked up because there's no cops to direct traffic or whatever, because it's different, like the aviation police are different at the airport, and they have like their own like staff, right? So if things get closed, or I don't know, like trash cans aren't emptied or whatever, it all spills over into the GW Parkway or into US 1, and the roads will be horrible. Like now I can't, like that's literally part of where I live. Like it's in my commute zone to go to like the grocery store and stuff. So I'm going to steer clear of it starting tomorrow, because it's going to get hairy, and that has a trickle down effect to regular old, like housewives / moms like me.
Right.
It's just shitty.
I mean, it's also going to, the thing is, I think people think, oh, it's 4% or 10%. So the odds are, 96% or 90% that my flight will go out. But that's not how it works at all. I mean, everything is so interconnected, right? Like, so First of all, you might have 2 flights or 3 flights. And so you miss a connection, your whole itinerary gets borked. Or you might end up just simply being, like the plane that you needed was stuck somewhere else and didn't get to where it needed to go to come to you. Or other people who've been rerouted end up bumping you from your flight. The point is, it's an exponential effect. I mean, I think it's like not unreasonable to think that probably 50% of all passengers will be affected with slowdowns or cancellations due to the ripple effect. And if you add a few storms in there, good luck.
Oh, I know. And like I said, holidays are going to, like, this Thanksgiving is going to be a skinny holiday for a lot of Americans that rely on SNAP. And then you add this in there. It's gonna be ugly, because there's no end in sight, Ted, to this government shutdown.
No.
And nobody on either side quite has any leverage, and nobody really views this as they've got anything to lose, because they personally are not impacted. And there's some people making noise. Like, I'm shocked, but maybe not so shocked. But Josh Hawley Missouri, is it? I think
Yes.
he's usually a very right-wing conservative. He has actually come out now and said that he doesn't care who the blame gets pointed at or who the credit gets attributed to, that this just needs to end and we need to fix SNAP. We need to, not impede travel because the holidays are coming. So I'm kind of shocked that he's saying it. But like, who's offering solutions, Ted? Nobody's offering solutions. Nobody's saying, okay, well, I'll do this, but you have to give us that. And now all we care about is, oh, Dick Cheney died. Oh, Nancy Pelosi's retiring. Like, really? Do we actually care? How does that impact daily Americans' daily lives? Like that, it just doesn't. But that's all the news is talking about is, oh my gosh, Nancy Pelosi's retiring. Who cares? She's 1,000 years old.
Well, yeah, that's true. Although, I mean, look, here's the thing. You and I both know that it's the Republicans who are getting eaten alive on this shutdown. And you can say it's fair or not fair, whatever, but it's what's happening. And so, I'm predicting here that around the 15th or so of this month, the Republicans are going to give the Democrats the renewal of those Obamacare subsidies that they want, not least because also their own constituents need them.
Well, there's that, Ted. Don't be silly. And it is open enrollment season, by the way, for as long as you might have your health care.
You can keep your doctor if you ever had one.
I'm just gonna point this out because I got to find a different plan for dental work, dental stuff. I got to see what my dentist. He no longer takes the plan that we had, so I'm like, dude. Although I had to second guess my dentist, Ted, because he bought a Cybertruck.
Oh, really? Like recently?
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. Not because it's an anti Elon Musk. I don't like the Cybertruck. Yeah, because I'm like, I'm gonna question your judgment as a dentist, as a medical professional. You bought a Cybertruck? Like, you're rolling around. You're a dentist. I
don't know anyone who has one, but I mean, I think from what I've heard, people who have them like them. I mean, they're probably impossible to parallel park.
Well, it's a death trap. We talked about that.
It is a death trap.
So I'm like, it's open enrollment season. He has now stopped taking my dental plan. Should I bother changing dental plans? Or should I stick with the Cybertruck dentist that I do like as a dentist? That's a toss-up, Ted.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, so the thing is, well, anyway, we should move on.
Yeah, but I just funny side note. It is open enrollment season. And then you may or may not have insurance when the government ever reopens. So there's that. All right. So here's a story that I love, the realtor in me, the realtor and presently unemployed housewife in me. I love this. I love this. So, okay, here's the article. It says, for years, tech companies and real estate agents have sold the promise of the fully automated smart home, a space where voice-activated lights, cameras, and climate systems work seamlessly together. But in 2025, a growing share of homeowners seem to be moving in the opposite direction. The same technologies that once promised convenience and control are now being reassessed as many Americans reconsider what kind of home feels the most comfortable. Rising costs, privacy concerns, and digital fatigue are fueling an unexpected dumb home movement. Where
how about a retard home?
Oh,
like
it's a smart house.
That's like in San Francisco. It falls down on you during an earthquake.
Oh, well, that's different. This, smart connected homes versus the dumb home. So I'm a fan of the dumb home. I like keeping my home.
Or the retard home.
I like, fine, I will take it. I like that. So there's a dumb home movement where simplicity is the appeal. Beth McGroarty, vice president of research at the Global Wellness Institute, told media that homeowners are moving from these like NASA style setup houses. I mean, and if anyone's, just kind of peruse like Redfin or whatever, you'll see these houses have like a command center. I'm not even kidding, Ted. Like, you walk in the door and like instead of your coat closet, you have like a freaking command center. You have to boop, boop, disarm, boop, 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 like temperature control. Like, I don't want to do that when I walk in to my house. I just want to plop my stuff down. Anyway.
So it's like, so, I mean, I understand the appeal. I mean, like, so before you come home, let's say it's cold and you have your thermostat down to save money.
You have your phone.
But you can like bump up the heat like an hour before you come home, so your house is nice and
toasty
you can, when you walk through the door. You can turn on the lights before you come home.
Sure.
You can fuck with people in the neighborhood, like disco light. Boop, 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 boop.
Like, you can't. I get some of that appeal, but now people are moving. The article says people are moving toward manual switches. Or you mean regular light switches. Dials.
Yeah.
For their air conditioning. Ted, you and I remember doing this, right? That
yeah, I do vividly.
And mechanical controls. The trend, she says, reflects a broader, quote, analog wellness mindset. I've been there I've been there forever. I was just saying this yesterday. I love analog. A mindset where it's focused on creating calmer, less connected living spaces. An architect called Yan M. Wang added that many clients now come to him to find constant background technology, from listening devices to smart sensors, that they tell him they find that more stressful than it is soothing. So for them, designing homes that minimize digital presence has become essential to achieving a sense of restoration. The financial side of the shift is also becoming clearer. Smart home technology is a $100 billion industry, but costs can quickly add up for consumers. Frequent software updates, device incompatibility, and short upgrade cycles make systems very expensive to maintain. Some high-income buyers in LA have reportedly begun avoiding homes filled with Wi-Fi enabled devices altogether, viewing them as unnecessary expenses that contribute very little to the resale value. Data from Zillow underscores how home buyers, their priorities are actually shifting. The company's 2026 Home Trends Report showed that mentions of reading nooks in home listings rose 48% compared to just the year prior. Zillow interprets the increase as a sign that people are now seeking spaces for unplugged relaxation, where screens and automation play is a minimal role. Dwell magazine also listed the decline of smart homes as a defining design trend for 2025 and beyond, citing growing interest in tactile, tech-free interiors. The national mood surrounding connectivity has shifted beyond home design. Landline phones have seen a modest resurgence, according to the Washington Post, particularly among parents who want to limit their children's screen time. Even some members of Gen Z who grew up with smartphones are now embracing retro phones, a movement that the New York Post has described as both an aesthetic choice and a form of digital escape. Now, hold that thought, Ted, because we have sponsors that we have to hit.
Okay.
Before we run out, and then we'll talk about it on the other side of the sponsorship. So, all right, here we go. All right, outdoor crew. If you're into fishing, camping, or getting off the grid, meet your new best friend, the Hunter Orange 25-quart cooler from Caddis Sports. This isn't your average cooler. It's roto-molded for max durability, bear-proof, and 20% lighter than other brands. Very important, especially bear attacks in Japan right now. They're rising.
Like bears.
So you want your cooler to be bear proof, and it's 20% lighter than the others. So it's easy to haul whether you're deep in the backcountry or just setting up at the dock. You'll get up to 3 days of ice retention thanks to thick, high-performance insulation. That means cold drinks, fresh food, and fewer ice runs, whether you're chasing muttons offshore or posted up at a campsite. The best part? It's 40 to 50% cheaper than the big name coolers, but still built to perform season after season. And like all Caddis Sports name brand gear, it's proudly made right here in the US of A. Use code RUMBLE at checkout for 10% off your order today. That's caddissports.com. Go grab the Hunter Orange 25-quart cooler and keep your next adventure ice cold.
I like it.
Like Nancy Pelosi's blood in her veins. Ice cold. She is a boss. Love her or hate her, she's a boss. But yeah, so Ted, I love this dumb home thing. Obviously my home studio, because of what happened with COVID and whatever, I have too much technology happening in this room, and I'm trapped in this room, like many hours of the day. The rest of my house is not smart. I don't like it. I even have guilt about the Wi-Fi, that the fact that my house has Wi-Fi going through it, because I feel like I have this toxic radiation in the air.
Right.
But everything else is tactile in my house on purpose. Like, my husband's asked before if I want to upgrade to this or that. And I'm like, no. When we were buying,
fuck no.
A whole new refrigerator and stove setup for the kitchen. Of course, they tried to pitch us a couple of years ago. Like the smart fridges that'll fucking talk to you or tell you that some of your shit's running low, like your orange juice is low. And I was like, hell no. Like, I don't want LG to keep track of everything that comes in and out of my fucking refrigerator and sending it to South Korea in real time, right? And for LG to know everything I have all the time, just to remind me on my phone, on the app, you're running low on orange juice. Like, I don't want that. I don't want the NSA knowing more than they need to.
I was going to say privacy's an issue here.
I don't want any of that. And
not to mention there's been all sorts of hacking that could actually kill you, right?
Oh my
God. For example, you could turn up
scare the shit out of you.
Yeah. I think on our old show, we talked about hackers who would bust into people's smart homes and like turn up their thermostat to like 100 degrees and
or spook the babies with their baby monitors, their connected baby monitors. Like, fuck that.
By the way, and there's a lot of stuff I don't even understand, like why it exists. Like, okay, so I saw there are washer dryers with Bluetooth connectors.
Yes. Why?
What for? I don't understand. I mean, because it's like, here's the thing. Physically, you have to be in situ in order to put the laundry in and move it from one to the other. You can't push a button and have like a bot move your stuff from the washer to the dryer. If you could, that would be very convenient, but you can't. So
like, if your shit's already loaded in the wash, why then wouldn't I just turn the dial and press the button?
Because you're there. I mean,
like,
Ruben Bowling.
Why would I want to be at work and be
Tom
like,
the Dancing Bug, which is a cartoon by Ruben Bowling years ago, had a cartoon talking about like if a DVD player had an eject button on the remote control, how that would be the stupidest thing of all time. Because after all, to get the DVD, you have to get off your ass and walk over to the tray. And yet, guess what? They did develop DVD players with the remote control exit button. And have I used it? Yes, I have. But it is kind of dumb. I mean, and also, to me, the big takeaway is I always think about, my father was an aeronautical engineer, and he talked about how Murphy's Law would really apply. Anything that can go wrong must go wrong. I'm from Dayton. Murphy was from Dayton. So it's personal for me. And the thing is that
did he also make the bed?
I don't know about that. I don't think so. He was an airman. Murphy was an airman. And so the point is, my father used to talk about how during World War II, a pilot the plane could be full of holes shot up by the Japanese, and he could crash land the plane on fire on the deck of an aircraft carrier in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, before it burned up, and maybe get out in time and save his life. Whereas he had an experimental plane where the plane disintegrated at altitude, and it turned out that a fly had walked across the motherboard and shorted it out. And so it killed, a $1 million a year training Top Gun pilot, and killed a prototype worth tens of millions of dollars. And it's just like every feature that you add to a device is another thing that can break.
Yes.
And that if you have a sophisticated car, for example.
You and I talked about the Cybertruck and how, like, if it dies out or whatever, you're in a crash and it dies, like the electricity dies. We've shown on the show how impossible it is to get out of the Cybertruck, because you have to like remove panels and shit. Like, yes. And so why not just make a fucking crank window as a backup?
I don't like push button transmissions on a car. Ignition.
Mine has it.
I don't understand I don't understand the point of it. It's like the key. It's a fucking.
You can't get away from it now. You can't
go wrong with the key.
No, I agree. I had no choice though. Like that's anything I would say past 2020. Like pretty much everything is made with a button. It's annoying as shit.
It does. I fail to see how push button transmission
and there's no
ignition helps my life. I mean,
there's no keyhole on the outside.
Yes.
To enter your car. Like, what if the remote dies? What if my car has a
if your little CR2032 like little disc battery breaks, then you're like locked out of your fucking car like a retard.
I don't know how to get into my car, the new car after my old Volkswagen finally gave up on me. It somehow knows that I'm the owner, because somebody else on the other side, you can't open the handle. Like the handle knows my freaking hand. And
ridiculous.
I don't want that. And I'm like, I don't even have a key. Like what if the sensors die? Like how do I key into my car? Like how do I open? It's just more technology than I care to have. And especially in my house, I don't even like that the Wi-Fi, like I'm glad that people are moving back to this analog direction. I mean, I was joking yesterday about how I don't even like digital clocks in my house. I like old analog clocks. Partially the aesthetic. I just like, maybe it's, I'm retro. I'm a kid of the 80s and that's what I grew up around. Right. But I just feel like everything is an electricity drain. I don't want to rely on the grid for everything. Right. I like being able to do for myself, and an analog lifestyle is part of that.
Sure.
And I hope it's part of the, like, it's just part of like the way I view the world is like analog equals do for yourself. I don't want to rely on everything else. And I don't want to have to call LG for every little thing that goes wrong with, because my stove and refrigerator are fighting now. Because like
in an epic clash.
Seriously. And then the microwave, is like above the stove and it's pissed off. It's siding with the stove and telling the stove that, hey, you're firing up, your burner is too hot and that I can't suck up all the, the air through my vents. And I'm like, they literally, like, they tried to sell me this at the LG store. Like, they're like, there's this technology, the smart appliances, and then you can control everything on your phone. And I'm like,
and you would want this. Why?
Right. Like, why would I want to turn my burner on? Like, if the app turns on your burner, Do you really think it's smart to be cooking something on your burner when you're not home?
That's a valid question.
Seriously, like, I didn't say that to the salesman, obviously, like, that's mean, but in my head, I'm thinking, are you fucking stupid? Like, why would I want to be at my office and cooking remotely? And then what? Looking at my in-home camera, which the NSA or some creeper is also looking at, panning it around so I can look to make sure my pot isn't boiling over. Like,
it's so stupid.
I don't want that. Like, no, that's too much risk. And then you can unlock doors from your phone app, and I don't want that.
Well, I mean,
that's not safe.
I can see certain aspects. I think, like, for example, a smart lock can be useful. For example, let's say you have a repair person is coming over to fix your house, do something in your house when you're not home. You can give them a temporary code and then change it. Sure. That's kind of cool.
That's not fully smart though. Smart like means everything's like fully connected and you can control letting them in or whatever. It's different than having like even when I was a realtor before all this stuff became like so-called smart, right? Where you can now the realtors, like if you have an appointment to go look at a property, the listing agent can, their lockbox that's on the door works like a Ring camera. They can look at you to verify that you're the agent coming to show the home, and they can digitally unlock the house to let you into the property. So it's key no more. Like you can have smart locks as a realtor put into that house.
All of this stuff fails, Manila, when say there's a power outage, right?
Everything's like,
or the internet
Wi-Fi,
goes down,
remote,
which happens. Like, the internet does go down. Like, you know, in your neighborhood, because like someone, you know, from the power company drills into an internet cable and then it's out. Then what?
So I hope we do move in the opposite direction. And again, I'm going with the Gen Zers for the hope of the world, the youngest of the Gen Zs, because it's some of the older Gen Zs are still tied to the millennial mindset, but the youngest of the Gen Zs and into the first half of these young Gen Alphas, they are going to be the ones who are going to reject all of this stupid over connectivity for privacy concerns. Everything is hackable. Everything is, and I hope maybe, and it's maybe my tinfoil hat. I just don't like the idea of having all the radio waves talking to each other while you're standing in the middle of it and, you know, like frying your brains with.
Well, when my kid was young, Wi-Fi. He used to always be like, do everything with tech, right? And I kept explaining to him, but the thing is, like, you know, tech doesn't always work. And so when I was getting ready to go to Afghanistan, he was a little kid the last time I went. And, you know, he saw that I was, you know, bringing, first of all, a lot of pads of paper. And he's like, where's your laptop? I'm like, oh, Afghanistan eats laptops because of all the dust. Not to mention, there's often no power whatsoever. And so what do you do? And so I had a stylus and, you know, and I just like basically did everything very low tech as much as possible. You know, as little reliance on batteries or electricity or the need to charge a device as possible. And, you know, we even had that argument about like handwriting. I was like writing cursives. He's like, well, you don't need to learn how to write cursives. And I'm like, well, the cursive wasn't, you know, originally come up with in order to be like pretty. It was because it's faster. That it's the fastest way to handwrite. And you know, and he's come to see that. And like, he's really into retro technology now. Like, you know, he's a Zoomer, and you know, it's like he's learned.
Well, the last thing I'll say about this is years ago with my old iPhone, when the iPhone still had the microphone, the jack, right? The headphone jack.
Mm-hmm.
You remember? Well, you and I had the same phone, so it had the jack. And
mine, mine still has that.
Oh, you still have one that has that? Well, mine does not. The new, you know, you have a newer one now because
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, yeah, okay.
the little hole. It doesn't have that anymore. They don't
Right.
make those anymore.
Yeah. Sadly, I miss it.
Sadly. So that little hole. So what I found online, and maybe it was
then you could charge
nostalgic.
and use the headphone at the same time.
Correct. But so when I don't know if I was feeling nostalgic, but this is like my old iPhone 7 or 8 or whatever. I found on Amazon a handset, like an old school, the kind you'd hang up, like clink, you hang up on people. I found a handset.
Switchboard Susan.
Yeah, like a real handset, like the handset you would pick up with a rotary type phone, right? So that handset, but it had the microphone, the audio jack that plugged into my old iPhone, because I didn't like the idea of frying my brain holding an iPhone up to my face, right?
Sure.
And then, so I would always talk on speaker, but then everybody can hear everything. So I found this and I thought, well, this is kind of great because it's kind of nostalgic. And I'd hold the phone, like this, like on your shoulder, like the old days.
Well, we remember the wedge,
they
plastic.
put the wedge on it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a nice way to not have radiation right on my face, even though we're at the lowest level or whatever. But I thought that was a good idea to, if I can avoid keeping radiation up against like my temporal lobe of my brain, maybe that's a good way to go about using the phone, is using the old handset, the hello. Anyway, but the Zers, like your son's age and younger, they are deliberately buying phones like that now. And they're deliberately buying flip phones, like the old flip. And they're deliberately trying to disconnect. So good on them. Maybe there's hope for the future.
I think there is.
All right. Let's move on. Let's do this one. Because I'm going to have to ask you about this because I've never been to Japan.
Okay. Are you reading this one or am I reading this one?
No, it's you.
Oh my God.
This is a you. This is all Ted all day.
How come I'm not finding the... Oh my God. Okay, so
we're on number
you better
3.
read this because I have too many. I can't find it on the screen. Oh wait, here it is.
What?
Here it is.
You're number 3.
Oh no, damn it. You got to read it. Sorry.
Ted lost the page.
I lost the page.
Okay, so this story is out of Japan, and this is supposed to be Ted's thing because Ted obviously used to work for the Japanese bank.
I can interrupt though. I'm really good at that, as everyone knows.
Okay, so compared to the United States or Europe, Japan's immigrant numbers look small at a little over 3% of the population, but data showing they are now at over 10% in 27 municipalities. That has added fuel to the new debate. Immigration to Japan has risen sharply since the end of the COVID pandemic, reaching a record 3.9 million, or roughly about 3% of the population in total by June. Tokyo has quietly loosened visa rules for workers in key industries such as manufacturing, agriculture, and caregiving amid labor shortages driven by a falling birth rate and declining interest among Japanese workers. Declining interest in what? Working?
I guess so.
But the influx...
Or maybe they just have declining interest in general. They're they're suffering from malaise and angst and ennui. So. All of them.
That's right. There's
but the influx I just can't be bothered.
That's right. That's very unusual for the Japanese, but if that's what's happening. But the influx into what has long been one of the world's most ethnically homogenous societies, alongside record tourist arrivals, has drawn public backlash, underscored by the election last month of the new Lady Prime Minister, Sane Takaichi, who made these concerns a focus of her campaign. Worries that Japan's culture could be swamped by new residents and the tourists who have become increasingly important for the otherwise moribund economy have fueled the rise of anti-immigrant politicians. Takaichi put some concerns at the heart of her campaign and also into her new administration, with youthful hardliner Kimi Onoda in charge of that portfolio. She was famously critical of alleged tourist abuse of the sacred deer in the ancient city of Nara. She also sought to tackle illegal overstays, restrict land purchases, and make sure foreigners pay social insurance. But those are limited measures, and the bigger problem is how Japan survives without immigration as its population ages and dwindles. The proportion of immigrants among those of working age is already significantly higher than within the general population, given that 30% of the country is over the age of 65. A record number of babies were born to foreign parents last year. Out of Japan's 1,892 municipalities, foreign residents comprised more than 10% of the population in 27 of those.
That is shocking when you just think about like for example, it's almost completely impossible to become a Japanese citizen if you're not born there. Even if you're married to a Japanese citizen, does not matter. It's basically impossible. And it's crazy. 10%. I mean, that reflects years of just neglect of their demographic crises.
So the fact that 27 of those, like 1,900 municipalities that we're counting towns, villages, wards, prefectures, whatever, that 27 of those roughly 1,900 have a 10% foreign worker or foreign person. That's high?
Oh, it's very high. I mean, it's just crazy because it's such a homogenous society, so racist, as we've talked about before recently. I mean, it's just like basically at this point, it's kind of like we're going to have to stop. We're going to have to say a formerly homogenous society, in the same way that France still views itself as a Catholic country, even though really nobody worships, nobody goes to church. But it's like sort of part of their culture. That like, we pretty much everyone here is Japanese and we don't really like foreigners and we don't have many foreigners. That's all fucking not true anymore,
Well, Vicky in Greece says, yeah, who immigrates to Japan though?
People, Koreans, really? People who are looking for work.
Their job is they must have a lot of job listings if 1/3 of their population is over retirement age. Well, presuming retirement age is 65.
It depends on the company, but yeah, their retirement metrics look more the way ours did 50 years ago. So it is sort of like a 65 is kind of standard, maybe even 62 in some cases.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So they are short on workers.
They're kind of looking like the Gulf states, right? Where you're very familiar with, where they need to import people to do that kind of work. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they're kind of like they're really in trouble. I mean, they really are.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but I mean,
I do.
Yeah, but you can't. Let's juxtapose the two. First of all, are the people in Japan aware of their population doom crisis here?
Yes.
Are they aware?
They're very well aware of it.
They know there's no babies.
They just don't know what to do about it. It's sort of like we're aware of climate change. We just don't know what to do about it.
Okay, so that's established. All the people, young and old, are aware that there's a population crisis. Okay,
correct.
Check. But then they go and elect a hardline prime minister who's like a Viktor Orban nationalist type, like foreigners get out lady. That's is a metal drummer. I know that's the cool quirk about her. But still, she's like the hardline nationalist, like we want our own people. So if you juxtapose the two, those are two polarly contrasting like positions. Like how can you make one work if the other is the opposite? Like you can't.
Well, there's another option, right? They could figure out a way to increase their birth rate. Although nobody seems to know how to do that, as we talked about yesterday.
So less sex dolls, more
sex,
more regular sex.
Yeah, maybe more places to have sex because there's no place to have sex because like Granny's home, right?
So
like
infrastructure problems.
Granny's like, what are you doing in there?
Right.
It's like
knock,
Mom, knock. Trying to fuck.
I'm trying to give you a grandbaby.
God, Mom, go away, Mom.
So this is like, well, you can't. But it's too late, I guess, is my point. Like, they've gotten to this point where 1/3 of their population are considered senior citizens, at least by the Western standards.
Sure.
You're not making babies at 65. You're not replacing workers. You're not. So why would you go and elect a lady that wants to boot foreigners out?
That's a good question. And yet there they are. Yeah.
There they are. So, and then you said the Japanese have like this, like kind of have as a culture kind of turn their nose up to other Asians, right? Like
they really look down on Koreans and they think the Koreans are scum. And and the Chinese, they hate the Chinese too. They hate everybody. They're just racist as shit. They're like, we're awesome. They're not like, you know how like there's some racist societies that are like, okay, we're the best, but these other guys aren't. They're second best. The Japanese don't have that view. They're like, there's us, and everyone else just blows. Fuck them.
Everyone else sucks ass. Like all other Asians.
So hope they all die. I was
going to say, so they don't want other Asians to immigrate there or like mix with their people or like what? Like they're not into that.
No, not at all. They're really opposed to that. They think that they're like a pure and noble race, and that no miscegenation.
Oh well, I don't know what to tell them then. If people aren't banging, people aren't procreating.
Yep.
People are dropping dead at work because they're overworked, and grandma and grandpa are outliving everybody and everything. So much so that 1/3 of your population are grandmas and grandpas. You're screwed. Like if you're not willing to let other people in and you're not willing to embrace like racial mixing, or it's not even racial. It's like different Asians.
Right. That's right. That's exactly
like
right.
We're all Asian. We all use, well, most of us, East Asians, we all use chopsticks and eat. We all have, the tiger rice maker on our countertops.
Have black hair.
We all have black hair, and we all have the tiger rice maker and chopsticks in our kitchens. It's an easy integration. Like, why not encourage other people to come? Like I don't know. I don't know what to tell them. Like, because the Lao culture is not like that. But we also had like 200 years of colonization from you Frenchies.
Laos and like Cambodia and those are culture. Those are crossroads, right? They're along invasion paths. And
Silk Road paths, and
they have a lot more integration with their neighbors and with the rest of the world.
A lot of babies in Laos, just a small population though in general. So anyway, we'll move on to the last topic.
Which again, you're going to have to read because I can't find it.
Because you lost the page. Okay. Last thing, which I find hilarious, is about Mark Zuckerberg in porn news. So after being accused of illegally torrenting pornography to train its AI systems, Meta is asking a court to throw out the case, arguing the content was likely for personal use. Meta also claims that there's no
personal use. Really?
Meta claims there is no evidence of them using the adult images or videos to train their AI system. So they're saying the case, the crux of the case is hooey, has nothing on them because it's probably for personal use, and porn is allowed for that. It's not used for business purposes. That's what they're saying. Now, we've seen several instances of AI companies being hit with lawsuits. Meta was served with another of these complaints in July filed by Strike 3 Holdings and the Counter Life Media Group, makers of popular adult entertainment brands such as Vixen, Tushy, Blacked,
Tushy,
and Deeper. According to Torrent Freak, the companies allege that Meta downloaded at least 2,369 of their movies since 2018 to train their AI. The claim stems from a lawsuit filed against Meta by a group of authors in 2024. After that case revealed Meta's torrenting activity, Strike 3 Holdings checked its BitTorrent tracking tools designed to detect copyright infringement of its videos. This revealed several corporate IP addresses identified as owned by Meta. It's further alleging that Meta concealed a stealth network of 2,500 hidden IP addresses. Why would Meta want to use almost 2,400 porn videos to train its AI? Strike 3 says it was to secretly train an unannounced adult version of its AI model powering Movie Gen. As such, the producer is demanding $359 million in damages. Meta, of course, denies all the accusations and has asked for the suit to be dismissed. It noted that Strike has been labeled by some as a copyright troll that files extortive lawsuits. The social media giant has several arguments for its defense. It notes that in 2018, when Strike 3 said the infringements began, it was years before Meta even started researching LLMs, which are large language models, which is AI, and generative video.
Just a heads up, I have a hard out in 2 minutes.
Yes, which began in 2022. There's also the important fact that Meta's terms prohibit the generation of adult content by its AI. As for the IP addresses being used as evidence, Meta says the small number of downloads, roughly 22 per year on average across dozens of Meta IP addresses, plainly indicates that the videos were torrented for personal use. In its author's piracy case, for example, Meta admits using the Book 3 dataset, a 37 gig compilation of 195,000 copyrighted books to train its LLMs. With tens of thousands of employees and numerous contractors, visitors, and third parties accessing the internet at Meta every day, the company says it's impossible to know.
I'm out in 30 seconds. We've got to wrap up.
That early?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
like, quick comments, and then we're gone. And I'm rating the show for DMZ.
Oh, okay. So this is it. Mark Zuckerberg is saying, it's my workers, my visitors. We're not stealing your porn.
It's really, really bizarre.
I just love that story, and you're not going to hear it anywhere else. So that's it. Ted's got to run. You're going live with DMZ
America podcast
with Scotty.
With Scott Standis, and we're interviewing editorial cartoonist Chip Bach about the news of the week, and we'll be talking about it in cartoons.
Cartoon folk. Good times. Thank you guys for tuning in. Say hi to Scott for me. Have a good Thursday. We'll see you for Fun Friday. Yay. Adios, amigos.
See ya.
Bye.